Yo, yo, yo. 1, 2, 3. What's going on, everyone? A little bit unplanned. I figured I would just get a little bit more on this song finished up before I go to bed, get ready for work tomorrow. Don't be ragging on my MIDI bass. It's all I've got at the moment. Well, I have a real bass, obviously. I actually ordered some new strings for the first time in probably about 2 or 3 years. And so I put a 7-string set on the Schecter and I put an 8-string set on the Schecter. The 8-string sounds good. The 7-string is just fucked. Like, I don't know what's wrong with it. If I try and palm mute the first fret on the B string, so I thought I'd maybe gone down too low in gauges, and that's why I was getting buzz. But there's just something off about it. So I've put out a call to any local guitar techs to see if they can kind of sort me out on that front. But yeah, I don't know, something's just off about it. The 8 feels good. And actually, I only noticed this time when I restrung it that I think whoever had it before me, because Schecter sent it out to me, but it had obviously been with somebody before, and they had drilled out the machine head and the nut was wider as well. So because I'd gone back down to I think a 64 or a 68, I was having to put tin foil in the nut groove just to elevate it a bit more. Now I've gone back up to a 74. It actually feels quite good. Well, it feels really good. So the 8 I'm fine with, but the 7 it needs some work, and I'd quite like to have an Ibanez 7 again. I really miss them. I used to have the 1527, I think RG 1527 was the first one that I had, and then at some point I had a 7620, an RGD 2127, and honestly I couldn't tell you why I sold them, because they were fantastic guitars, and I'm just like, man, I think there's a lesson there. If you have an Ibanez, never sell it, because they're really good guitars. Zeta World, yeah, it's going all right, man, thank you. How about you all? Hope you've all had good weekends and stuff. Hay Fever, yeah, so me and Dan, we actually already made an album, and it's on Spotify at the moment. It's called Ruins by Dan Tompkins, and it was actually based on an existing album that he had on his solo name called Castles, which was kind of like a very ethereal, like electronic sort of thing. And the label that he was on, I think they had asked him, like, can you basically turn this into a rock album? So I said to Dan, I was like, yeah, just send me just the vocal stems. I don't want to hear the songs, because I don't want any sort of like preconceived ideas of how they should go. And then I just wrote new songs around the vocals, sent them back to him, he re-recorded the vocals, sent them back to me, and we all mixed it all in. And yeah, it came out good. You can go listen to it right now. It's on, well, not right now, because you want to hear this song. But yeah, it was cool. We did like a full album live set. We went to a you know, recording location and everything, and played the whole thing through live, which was really cool. We even did a few live shows with it back in, I think it was about 3 Januaries ago, maybe. It was one of the first gigs that was on after COVID in the UK. So yeah, that was really cool. Well, we might do the same again with this one. But yeah, so as I'm not on for too long tonight, I guess we should get straight into it. So I'm just going to move my OBS back where it belongs. And I'm also going to make the screen brighter so I can actually read what you guys are saying. So for anyone that missed it last Wednesday, I think, basically Dan had been re-recording all of the vocals on an old demo that we'd done for the follow-up to that album. And it's a cool song and everything, but the recording was very sort of like bedroomy. And I'll just kind of give you a quick skim through it. So basically what I did on the last stream is just went through, redid everything, all the drums, all the guitars, all the MIDI bass. So tonight, T-Earn, there's some clean guitars I have to do in the middle. And I also had an idea for something at the end as well, to kind of reprise that sort of, it's not really like a breakdown riff, but it's like a filler riff. Because currently it was basically just playing out the main chorus and possibly even fading out. So I'm going to play it through once, and then we'll go in and add the new bits. This is also something I'm messing around for like an intro. Like I want it to sound all floaty and dreamy and stuff. But making the transition between this and the song, I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So yeah, ignore that. It's just a rough idea. Maybe a bigger gap between this and the next bit. So, yeah, I mean, I quite like the screams, to be honest, but I think it could be a case of just maybe like layering them in a bit, because at the moment they sit right on top of the mix, and I don't think they need to. So, I mean, one thing that I did add on this before I came on was just a layer of like octave down pitch shift guitar. So, I think the first thing we'll do is the cleans in this middle part. I am not the best at chords, so this will be fun. I do kind of remember what they do. So it's like a little shit. What is it now? No. Okay, that's it. But I don't know what to do with this. I think that sounds okay. The actual sound, I'm going to tweak that a bit because I want it to sound more kind of ethereal. So maybe bring in some of this reverb thing. Something like that. Maybe if I double track it with the thing that I have at the moment and then add in that sort of like shimmer layer at the top. Damn it. Messing that last one up. Maybe what I need is to do it on a middle track so I can actually hear what I'm doing. Fuck off. Do you think it's hitting that that thing too often? Well, I mean, I might do that. I'm not going to sit here all night and just play the same like 16, 32 bars over and over again. But I don't know if it's hitting that thing too often. So this one sounds okay. That's okay. This one, I think just do that. No. Okay, we're doing it. It's happening. Yeah, I'm gonna punch in. we'll keep that note on the top. I don't know. So, see what that sounds like. Double track. I keep catching the top string with the fucking fat part of my hand. Fuck off. Brother. Boom. Effortless. One take. Hello, Jay. I also kind of like a post-rocky, like tremolo picked layer that's in the original that follows that piano line on the top as well. So for that, we'll just get, what am I going to use? Don't even know what I'm using for these layer guitars. Archetype, Nolly. So we'll use the same thing there. I don't know if the X version of Nolly is out yet. Yeah, so that, but louder and not shit. What I really would like is some delay before the distortion. Hey Marco, how you doing, man? Really? Can make me do a blast beat right now? There you go. How's that? Also, the the clean guitars they're quite boomy. And they're quiet as well. Wrong notes. Messed up. I messed it up.
Every step
So for this bit, I was thinking kind of strip it, because at the moment it just does like power chords, like. So I was thinking of doing like a little. And then kind of get those. And then end on a. That would sound cool. Did you do the octave below layer? Yeah. But it's kind of on a. I'll probably re-record it because it's not recorded very good. Nope. I mean, I think that sounds okay. Do that better, I think. Maybe, because on this layer it's just power chords, I could maybe just do the single note stabs. That could sound cool. Or just fully quad track it. It could sound okay. Oh my god. Also, I need to kind of go in and do some more like drum fills and stuff. Because at the moment it's very repetitive. And then maybe just do on the lows, but bring it up in the mix. I mean, you can't really hear it, but I think you'd miss it if it wasn't. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Tion. So... That sounds cool. I think that sounds better. If I could play it right. Clint, what's going on? And not hit that fucking G. Damn it. Are you fucking serious? Stop hitting that G, man. Why? I mean, I ain't gonna get too hung up on it. It's rough. It's raw. Okay, take the second half of that. That's fine. It's very warm tonight. Hey, thank you very much for the follow. Danny Lowe's here. Danny Lowe's here. Guys, everyone. Danny Lowe's here. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Wow. Wow. There will be real bass, yes. Just waiting for my Elixir bass string. Sorry, they're £67 for a Elixir bass set. But supposedly they will last like 2 to 3 months. So I guess that's good. £67 though. Maybe like a bomb. Boom. 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 Yeah, I think that sounds okay. I just need to get rid of those little scratchy bits at the end. Maybe a bit too much, but that's fine. So let's see how that comes out of this section. Too loud. I think what we'll do on that is, yeah, add automation for reverb time, add automation for mix. And then as that high note sort of does its thing, we'll bump the reverb time up to maximum and then kind of bring the mix up as well. So it sort of creates this, like, not an infinite sustain, but I think it's sounding okay. I did hear something in this middle bit, and I'm going to try. Hey, thank you very much for the follow. Time Lord returns. Oh, nice, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm kind of just getting back to it after quite a long time away. So my playing's a little bit rusty. I will be doing some practice, but I'll do that off camera. Nobody needs to hear how bad I am right now. Yeah, so I had I heard something in my head for this middle dreamy section. I don't know what this plugin is doing, but I think we can use that. So let's see. Bear with me, everyone. This is going to make sense. Yeah, this is for anyone that's wondering. So I do use Reason sometimes, like to actually write in as a DAW, but as of a few versions ago now, it's a full plugin that you can run in anything else. It's really cool because you could just build your own sort of synths, your own effects chains, all sorts of stuff. It's very cool. There was something that I wanted to do in the drums as well, because again, I think, as I said, that at the moment they're quite repetitive, especially in the chorus. Maybe I'm just going to try something quick. Do you ever pull from a drum loop library when you're feeling stuck? I can't say I do, to be honest. I do use drum loops for things like top loops. Like if I'm doing production music work, I'm not going to go ahead and like re-record a shaker loop. You know what I mean? Or like a little housey top loop. I'll just grab something off Splice or whatever. But yeah, for this kind of stuff, I would always just do my own thing. Okay, that was kind of cool. Let's do that. Just put a few like accents in and stuff. Also, the toms I feel could be a lot louder. Let's try that. I mean, they're not even bust out to their own channel at the moment, so I could at some point do that, but I haven't done it yet. That's weird. It should start record at left locator. How do I do that? I don't know how you do that. It's been too long. Never mind. Are you still using ML drums, or did you change to Superior? Nope, still using ML. I did the tiniest bit of mixing. I think I put this kilohertz disperser on the kick and some compression, and I put the snare out to its own bus and did a transient master from... so without... not yet. So... actually, no, yeah, I did. So actually, I didn't have to turn the toms up in ML at all. I could have just turned them up here. Oh, I spent way too much time on my own as a kid. Did you show it in the stream how you did it? Yeah, so I don't know what it's like in whatever DAW you use, but I just went to the plugin in the VSTI thingy, and I went activate outputs and just turned them all on. And they come pre-named, which is really cool. There's some stuff you can't do with it, so like they haven't split it out into snare top, snare bottom, all of that. But yeah, I think it's good enough. And I did even think about maybe combining ML with like GGD or something, because the snares and kicks I really like. But I think the cymbals and maybe the toms in GGD are really good. Can we switch to triplets? I kind of want it to go dig-a-dig-dig. How would I do that? Why is this not making sense? Would it be that? Yeah, there you go. Ooh, I'll tell you the other thing that I haven't done yet, and I always do this on when I'm in Cubase. And I actually used to do this on like the old the Dream's Edge stuff and All Roads Lead Here. If you're on Cubase and you go into MIDI inserts, you can do this thing called help if you could see it, MIDI modifiers. So it's just on the track inspector here, and in here you can do random target position, and then I just set that to kind of like plus minus 5 or 6, and it basically adds like real-time non-destructive randomization on the drum hits. So to kind of show you what that sounds like, if I crank that up to like stupid values, it'll basically sound like someone who can't play the drums. But yeah, if you bring that down to say, I mean, let's try like plus minus 10. It should just kind of introduce a bit more of a human element, and obviously you can just tighten up. You can decide how far ahead or behind of the beat you want it to be allowed to go. So just tighten that up a bit. So I don't know if you can hear that, but it's even like those toms, I didn't slam those in the MIDI. That's just real time. So without, very like robotic. How long is this drum part? Oh, it just never ends. Where's the end? Okay, there's the end. Those hats were sounding a bit like not good. And there is a way, I think it's shift. No, command. Yeah, there you go. So in terms of the library, I don't know if it's still on sale, but I picked up all of them. So this is Meld at the moment, but they're all really good. I like the big modern Lux, I think it is. Yeah, big and modern Lux, which I'm assuming is an allusion to modern massive or something. But, yeah. I'm wondering if on this end section it might sound bigger to kind of just layer some synth bass under the real bass. I mean, it might not sound good, but we'll try it. See how that sounds in the mix. drag these out a bit because I snipped them a bit too aggressively. Why is it not letting me do that? Really? Has it? Okay. See, this is what, I don't know if anyone watching knows about this. I swear that in previous versions of Cubase, if you did cycle recording and you had takes, you didn't get this kind of like hashed line effect. So if I want to grab this and move it, it's only ever going to take the top take. It does my head in. I don't know how to get around it. And it's also stopping me from doing things like dragging the audio part out and all sorts of stuff. I don't know how to get around it. Never used to be like that. I've asked around in a few places and apparently nobody seems to remember what I'm on about, but I know I was there. Fade out. Right, let's have a listen to from the beginning. See how it's sounding. I didn't get a chance to look at the intro yet, and also I think that these, in fact, yeah, no. Before I do that, those clean guitars in the middle sound a bit like shit. So I'm gonna make a new set of channels just for that part of the song because it's not working just using the verse ones. So we'll call this spacey clean left and duplicate spacey clean right, and then put those in a group. And then what I'll do is I'll put the effect on the group so I don't have to edit it twice for both channels. Let's see, spacey clean group. So now let's move these down and pan left and right. Basically, I'm just going to drown it in so many effects that it sounds like I can play guitar. Hey, thank you very much for the follow, Majima Black. Man, I need to get some better glasses or something. I have to keep squinting like a old man. Right, so what are we going to put on this? Let's do some compression. And then that anima delay thing, because I quite like that. I mean, we could just try, because I was going to do like a shimmer effect, but maybe if I just did like a really subtle pitch shift down and then loads of reverb. Sounds kind of cool. I'm not sure if I like the reverb on it, so let's use the shimmer effect from this, but we'll use the DR1 reverb with like loads of modulation. No, there's no mastering on it yet, T. This thing is sounding a bit fizzy. let's have a listen from the start and see how that's sounding. If anything sort of jumps out, sounds weird, anybody's got any cool ideas, hit me up, because I've got nothing. Also, yeah, this intro, I haven't made it work yet, but I will. And also maybe there's too much reverb on this. Is there such a thing? I think that sounded okay. I was just curious to see what the CPU was on this, and because I've loaded in like a bunch of Neural DSPs. They used to make my old computer just like absolutely shit its pants. But yeah, that's crazy. And I think I'm at 32 samples as well, which is just mad. But yeah, I think that sounded pretty good. The rhythm guitars, I think could maybe be a bit, I don't know, a bit more present or something. They're a little bit kind of blankety. Or maybe they're okay. I don't know. But yeah, how's that sounding to you guys? Yeah, Robert. So that intro at the moment is kind of just like a placeholder thing. But yeah, I was thinking even as much as kind of like letting the last chord ring out a little bit, and just leaving a bit of pad in between it, and then some kind of swell or something. The middle section I still feel is a little bit noisy. Like there's a lot of stuff fighting for the same space. I'm glad it sounded good though, T. I mean, obviously that's the thing, is I'm only listening through headphones. They're good headphones. They're the Slate VSX, but I can't run the room emulation while I'm on stream, because otherwise you guys will hear the modeling as well. I think there might be a way around that, perhaps using like control room out or something, but I don't know how to do that. But yeah, welcome Frog on Lilypad. You've joined at the right time, because I'm about to stop. I've been on for a little over an hour and I've got work tomorrow. But I will just quickly sort of take you guys through what is next to work on. God, that is so bright. It's giving me a tan. But yeah, I'm glad that sounded good through Sonarworks, T. I mean, my room's not treated at all, so I can't really sort of gauge how good things do or don't sound. So obviously Dream Stealer is what we're working on at the moment. I think that's pretty much done. I should really download all these so I don't have to keep loading them off. In fact, can I do that? Can I just download this whole thing? Let's do that. I think we should do that. But yeah, and I'll give you guys some of my library music to listen to while we wait. I'm thinking of doing sort of working streams, sort of like non-talking or no commentary streams during the day, because I'm trying to sort of carve out periods during the workday where I can actually write. And it might be interesting to document that, because obviously I get to do like a lot of different styles and everything. Is there plans for a verse 2 and a bridge for Dream Stealer? I mean, to be honest, I think that middle section is kind of not a bridge, but that's kind of like the second verse ish. Let's see, I don't know where to put this. Projects, Cubase, DT2, old refs. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the layout of what it is at the minute is what it's going to be, I think. And I kind of like that it's got that sort of like, I mean, I think it's what, 2-3 minutes long? 3 minutes long? How do you see the duration? Add track ruler. Bars and beats. There you go, seconds. Yeah, I mean, it's coming up on 4.5 minutes, so I think that's a good length for this kind of song. But I think the other tracks, there's plenty of scope to sort of have more sections. So, right, let's mute this guy for a sec. think this might be the one to work on next. Yeah, I think that's pretty strong contender. I mean, to be honest, I could just work through them like in order. I think that'd be cool. But how much better was that sounding with like the new drum sound? Even if it's just a temporary drum sound before we, you know, do live drums or something. Yeah, that sounded cool. Yeah, I think we'll just do them in order, I think. This one was always tricky for me because I never knew where to go from the chorus, but I really like the chorus on this one. Yeah, I could never figure out where to go with that one, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Right, as it's school night, I think I might call it. Blue Ligers. No, so these are, I was explaining earlier that me and Dan did an album about maybe more than that, 3, 4 years, 5 years, I don't even remember. It's on Spotify and it's called Ruins. And this is basically going to be the follow-up album to that. We've got these 10 tracks that are at least 50% done each, but some of them are like a lot more. So yeah, just going to smash through these. I think the plan is that basically so Wednesday, I'm doing every Wednesday. Tonight was just a bit of an impulsive thing because I had the time. and I had a bit of the urge to hop on and just tidy a few things up. But yeah, I think it's been a productive session. I've got those clean guitars in; they're sounding good. Tidy up that middle section because it's just a tiny bit sloppy. But yeah, next Wednesday, I hope to catch you guys there. I think we'll try and do it so we come off the back of one of Dan's streams. And then, as I say, I might sort of try and do some things during the week if I'm on during the day. Obviously, in such a way that I'm still doing my job. But if I'm kind of doing something that's interesting to watch from a writing perspective, then it might be cool to just hop on and just put something on the screen that's like, oh, sorry, I can't talk. But that could be good. And then also there is some chimp stuff that I want to sort of start dusting off as well. Or I don't even know if it's going to be chimp at this point, to be honest. There's like a new sort of direction that I want to take it in. Before I go, actually, one mildly exciting thing. I have one of these guys coming tomorrow. I don't know how I stumbled onto it, but I ended up watching a bunch of YouTube videos about how this kind of bass 6 form factor is actually really good for sort of modern low-tuned metal. And I was kind of on the verge of getting like a 9-string or something because I kept finding myself wanting to go lower than F sharp or drop E. But even on like a multi-scale 8, it was struggling a bit. And then I saw somebody using this, and I think they had it just standard set up with the strings that it came. And they were going down to like double drop C sharp or something. And I was like, yeah, I need one of these. So that's actually arriving tomorrow. So potentially might try and hop on a night other than Wednesday, or on Wednesday perhaps do a bit of a split thing. So we do some Dan Tompkins stuff, and we also just maybe try writing something using the Harley Benton. And it's cheap as chips as well. So even if it's not for me, I haven't really lost that much on it, and I'm sure somebody else could make it work. But I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be cool. But yeah, I think I'll call it for now. So thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. It's been fun. Got a lot of stuff done. And I'll catch you in the Discord if you're already in there. But otherwise, Wednesday evening, probably about 9 o'clock British time, we'll be there. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your evenings, wherever you are. And I'll catch you guys on Wednesday. In a bit all.